Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you read that title correctly. In this video, I am going to be ranking all 32 NFL teams' primary logos. And this is actually a ranking inspired by you guys. Sort of.
What the?
See, over the course of a few weeks, I made polls that put teams against each other in single elimination that began with all 32, then to 16, then to 8, etc, etc. I used which round each team was eliminated in to determine how high or how low they could rank. From there, I just used my personal opinion to see which team would go where. Still confused? Take my Bengals for example. They were eliminated in the first round, so by my logic, I can only rank them as high as 17th, since they didn't make it past round 1. If it matters to anyone, I base my opinion on the logo's appearance, legacy, like how iconic of a logo it is, and there is a little bit of bias too. I'll be very upfront and honest about that one. But to everyone, it shouldn't be a surprise what ranks at number 32. At 32, I have the Cleveland Browns. Now, first things first, their logo technically isn't a logo at all. I mean, it's bland, it's a helmet. Even if I didn't have bias, I think this easily gets the 32nd slot. At 31, I have the Los Angeles Rams. It was hated when it debuted back in 2020, and it still hasn't really appealed to me personally. They have won a Super Bowl with it, but it did feel like it was just a lazy way to write out LA, and personally, I think they should have stuck with the old logo. At number 30, we have the New York Giants. Now, this one might get some hate, but I just don't get the appeal to it other than it's iconic. To me, it looks like the Y has a massive underbite as it underlines the entire 2 letters, but I will say it looks pretty good on a helmet, so I will give it that. At 29, we have the Washington Commanders. The W does have the Washington Monument if you look close enough, but other than that, it is still just a big W. And you'll see this from the list. I'm not a huge fan of these letter logos, and if you don't believe me, you will with my next one, as I have my own Cincinnati Bengals. It at least tries to do something, having a striped design to help it stand out. Personally though, I think they need to go back to the 97 look or something very similar, as a B striped is okay, but like I said, I'm just not feeling these lettered logos. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, or if that's just me. At 27, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they do have that iconic 2-letter design with the red and gold combo that is pleasant on the eyes. But again, it falls in that category of me not being the hugest fan of the single letter or lettered logos. And the 49ers do fall on that, but it does get the nod over others because I like the color combination just a bit more. At 26, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the logo isn't technically a letter per se, but if tilted to the side, you do get a C, and obviously, C equals Colts. Colt, by definition, is a young male horse, so the logo makes sense, as if you couldn't tell, it's clearly a horseshoe that they have. The logo has always been part of their helmets, even if the design wasn't their official primary, so there's a little fun fact there. At 25, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. If you watched my fun facts video, you know that this look is based off the Niners logo, yet in my opinion, they do pull it off just a little bit better. The arrowhead in the back is such a great touch to the Native American theme that I couldn't ignore it. The color combination is a nice touch, so you combine it all together, and it is one of the better lettered logos in the entire NFL. At 24, I have placed the Green Bay Packers. They do get the edge over Kansas City simply because of the iconic status that the Packers look has gotten over the years. And it's not only the logo itself that is iconic, but it is also the green and yellow combination that brings it all together for me. Again, lettered, but one of the most recognizable looks in not only the NFL, but in sports history. At 23, we do have the Miami Dolphins. Their aqua and orange is such a great color combination, I will give it that. But it does lose points for the simple fact of how much better its predecessors were before it. I loved, and I mean absolutely loved, the logo before the current one. The one with the helmet on it, I loved it. It was perfect. It had the modern look to it, and it was still fun yet aggressive, like he was ready to, you know, up. Can't say the same about this one. It's a little more too simplistic for me. Overall, I'm just not feeling this one. So it does get its spot at 23. At 22, we have the New York Jets. And for the longest time, I did hate their logo. The new look, however, in 2024 does give it an edge that plays into the nickname. The name Jets is spelled out, but the top of the J covers the entire name above to resemble an actual jet. And the logos that reference the nickname will always get bonus points. Overall, much better look, much sleeker design, bumps this one up much higher in a way that I would have had it probably in my bottom 3 had they not gone for the redesign. And at 21, I have the Chicago Bears. This logo was their alternate from 1999 until 2023 when it became their official primary. While this is a cool look, the bear does look intimidating. As a kid, I couldn't even tell that this bear was even growling in the image, and I don't really know why. I don't know, my brain maybe just can't handle it, so maybe I just can't appreciate it. But that's why they're at 21. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from 20 through 17, I personally believe should not be this low on this list. However, because they lost in round 1, they can only get this far up on this list. The first of the 4 I have at number 20 are the Tennessee Titans. The logo is supposed to symbolize the sun with a big T in the center. The flames do add a nice touch as it makes it look like a comet, making it a cool and unique design that definitely stands out. At number 19, we have the New Orleans Saints. It's an iconic look for the city of New Orleans, and if you didn't know, the Saints logo is called a fleur-de-lis. See, I do pay attention to my comments, y'all. The design stands out, and when you think of it, you think of the city. The black and gold combo is also fantastic. On that shiny gold helmet makes it that much more incredible. At 18 though, I could not put them over their NFC South competitors, as here we have the Atlanta Falcons. The main thing to me that stands out about this logo is the beautiful red and black color combination. It's something that catches your eye. The fierce falcon design also not only looks great, but it even has a hidden detail in it. As if you look to its right on its wings, it does create an F, and obviously F for Falcons. It's this one and the next one that really made my head scratch as to what were y'all thinking in these votings, y'all? Alright, and the top spot of round 1 at number 17, to the shock of myself and I'm sure a lot of you guys, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. To me, this was the stunner of the first round. I love everything about this logo. The silver and black, the pirate with the eye patch, and the iconic shield. The Raiders logo will stand the test of time, as this could be their look for the next 100 years, and you'd never even question if it's time for a new redesign or anything like that. It's one of those few logos that is universally known, and I can't comprehend how it didn't make it out of the first round. This logo is in my top 5, and to be honest, if I really thought about it, it could probably be in my top 3. But this is the absolute highest I could put it due to the restrictions that I placed on this list my own damn self. We have covered the first round of eliminations. The next 8 eliminated, for the most part, I do agree with the eliminations in this round. At number 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Personally, to me, this design is nothing to scream about. Nothing really intimidating about the Cardinal, no matter how serious they try to make it look. At number 15, we do have the Dallas Cowboys. It's another one where I believe its iconic status covers truly how dull the logo actually is. Its silver and blue is a great color combination, don't get me wrong, but guys, at the end of the day, it's just a star. It's iconic because of how well they were in the 90s, but I think had they not been as good as they were and as recognizable as they are in today, this would have probably gotten a redesign by now. And don't get it twisted, dull doesn't necessarily mean a bad logo, but I do think overall there are much better designs than a star. At number 14, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. The bolt is a cool and fierce design. It's simple and effective. It's a great fit for the Chargers nickname. And the powder blue is a top tier color. And at 13, we have the Carolina Panthers. Personally, black and blue is my favorite color combination. It's honestly one of the outfits that I wear almost day in and day out. Don't believe me? Ask my fiance. The Panther logo also has the Carolina coast hidden in the logo, even though I still, no matter how many times you guys tell me how to look at it, I still just can't see it. At 12, we have the Houston Texans. The I is supposed to represent the state of Texas's nickname, the Lone Star State. The bright fierce red is perfect for a fight. And this one should have been higher, but it narrowly lost in a 49 to 51% defeat. At number 11, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the iconic logos similar to the Raiders in the entire NFL. The Steelers logo is universally recognized, as it does have its 3 bright stars to help the design stand out. Now, some may be wondering, how is this not at the very least at the top of round 2? Well, you know at the beginning how I said there might be some biases, on this list. Cracking into the top 10, we do have the New England Patriots. The Flying Elvis will be as iconic as other logos in the future if it's not so already. It's with this logo that the Patriots won 6 straight Super Bowls. The red, white, and blue combination is as American as it gets. In terms of the overall look, it's not the greatest design, but I think it is more than deserving to be in the top 10. At number 9, this is another one that I truly believe was a victim of the voting system. But at number 9, we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings look is one of the coolest designs in the entire NFL. The purple and gold with this logo fits like a glove. The horns, the braids, the fierce face, all mesh well. It is more than deserving to round out the second round of eliminations. Alright, we're getting to our Elite 8, and to kickstart the Elite 8, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is one where I was surprised it made it as far as it actually did. Not the biggest fan of this look, I'll be straight up with you guys. The gold and teal isn't really doing it for me, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being too harsh. I do truly believe though 8 is way too high, but it made it to round 3, so number 8 is where it lands. At number 7, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The purple and black with the yellow outline makes for a great design color combination. The sharp edges with the white beak help it differentiate from any other logo in the entire NFL. But just like the Steelers, maybe or maybe not. At number 6, we have the Denver Broncos. This design debuted in 1997 and was actually heavily criticized as it was replacing the iconic Bronco coming out of the letter D. 3 Super Bowls later, and this one may have overtaken that logo from Elway's early days in terms of best of all time. The orange in the hair and the eyes perfectly contrast the white and blue on the Bronco's head. Could have cracked the top 5, maybe, but I'm more than happy having it just outside too. Cracking into the top 5 and the top of round 3 eliminations, we have the Buffalo Bills. Looking at this logo, I immediately think of the guys swanton bombing off of cars onto tables. This logo is the perfected idea of simplicity in a design. There's not too much going on with the Buffalo Bison. There are no features on it other than its horn and that it's charging forward. But when the red dash is thrown in there, you get the sense of how fast the Bison is truly going. Intimidating yet mysterious, simple yet recognizable, they perfected the idea of simplicity in a design. Alright, in our final 4, we did have 2 more eliminations here, so this one could have been 4th or it could have been 3rd. I personally chose this to be 4, and that being the Seattle Seahawks. It's clean, aggressive, and intimidating, all things that you'd want to look for in your logo. What really, though, elevates this one for the people, I'm assuming, and because it's elevating it for me, is that action/neon green color that is so bold and it just looks great. Just from the color scheme alone, it would crack the top 10 in my books, but with the influence of you guys, it cracked the top 4. And at number 3, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles look has the iconic status, it has a hidden message, and it has a unique face direction. The Eagles logo is one of the very, very few in NFL history to actually face left. This direction does allow them to cleverly hide an E in the neck of the design. It definitely belongs in the top 3, but due to voting, this is as high as I can possibly place it. Alright, for top 2, for number 2 and number 1, this was completely voted by you guys. There was no way I could have changed how I felt about them. You guys voted number 2, and you guys voted number 1. These two met in the finals, so they could take only one of 2 slots. So at number 2, you guys voted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs logo, hands down, might be one of the coolest looks in NFL history. The skull and swords hovering over the football on a slightly torn up flag give this logo an image of having been through battle. Again, we have the red color that indicates aggression. Everything on the design of the flag being held up by another sword makes this deserving of the silver medal in my countdown. Alright, and ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, voted by you guys, we have the Detroit Lions. And if you guys are ready for my bombshell, I do not agree with this at all. I'm genuinely surprised that this logo not only made it to the end, but actually won. Don't get me wrong, it is a really cool look, but I'm sorry y'all, I'm just not feeling that they're number 1. The Honolulu blue on the lion silhouette is definitely a good combo. I get that it's leaping to show it's very intimidating, you know, kind of like pouncing on the competition or some cliche like that. But maybe it's because up until recently, the Lions had never really been good. I do not at all have fear or intimidation by this logo. Maybe top 10? Sure. But number 1? I really have to disagree, y'all. Again, this was done by both you guys watching and myself. What did you guys think of the list? Do you question where some of the places have been placed? If that makes sense, I'm pretty sure that didn't make sense. And who would be in your top 3? Be sure to thumbs up this video if you made it this far and subscribe to the channel. We upload weekly content. Love you guys. Shaboy!